Yeah, okay. A very good evening to you all. And of course, welcome to this session, which happens to be our orientation for the course. Oh, good, thank you. For the bootcamp course, which we are going to start. And of course, I don't know whether you're all from the WhatsApp platform, but we have been having a lot of engagement via the WhatsApp and, giving you programs and updates about the bootcamp. So, yeah, so once more, I'd like to welcome you to this bootcamp. Basically, it will introduce the journey of like becoming a front-end web developer. And I happen to be the host for today. That is Ayfed Ferdinand. I'm a computer scientist by profession. I'm also a master teacher. Like I train teachers. In my past history, I worked as an educationist and I've been as well teaching in real classroom situation and what so forth. And then I'm also an entrepreneur. Basically, I focus on technology and I'm a technopreneur. So today marks the start of your journey to become a front-end web developer. Then I'm going to guide you through the course outline, the expectations out of this course, and the crucial skills which you will learn as the result of this course. And basically, this time around, we are talking about web development. So when we talk about front end, we are referring to somebody who designs a website. However, you're working with what the user sees. So I believe this orientation will get you ready to dive into the bootcamp. So this is our program. We are going to look at about the bootcamp. We are looking at the objectives of the bootcamp, the requirements. We shall look at the course outline, the text editors we shall be using, the learning approach we shall use, and the resources which shall be required during this course. So when you look at the objective of this course basically aims to teach you the essential web development skills. In today's digital era, you find that every aspect or every sector requires knowledge of computer. And of course, when we talk about computer knowledge, we don't refer to the other, introductory level whereby you learn Microsoft Suite package. Well, we are looking at learning skills basically into coding. And of course, with this bootcamp or the front end, it will introduce you to basic programming language. Specifically, the major language you're going to look at is JavaScript. However, after this bootcamp, if you want an extension, we shall also go and look at backend technologies. Otherwise, basically, we are going to look, the major language we are learning is JavaScript. Of course, we have other scripting languages. They are not purely programming language, like the HTML and the CSS. So this will provide you a very good foundation to become a very good developer in the future. So it can widen for you careers in tech. You can decide to go into software engineering. You can decide to become a full-time a full stack software developer. You can go into machine learning. You can go into artificial intelligence and whatsoever. So this course is an eye-opener. Like it gives you a broad choice of careers to take. So, and we are also organizing this bootcamp in order to expand our workforce at Ayfed Technologies. We believe when we train students through this type of intensive bootcamps, we look at top talents, people who are really skilled among the people whom we have been with in the bootcamp, and we employ them as well to add on the workforce. So this is another aim as to why we organize these bootcamps. So when we look at about the bootcamp, our mission is simple: to equip individuals with skills for web development and also give you career opportunities in technology, like I said. And then also we take pride in the success stories of our students. Like over 80% of most of the students we train, not necessarily in web development, but there are other courses we train as well. So like the basics of the computer and what so forth. They land into secretarial jobs, others go into graphics and what so forth. So now this bootcamp we're going to have will offer a comprehensive curriculum which will cover the web technologies. When we are talking about web technology, we are referring to HTML, CSS, JavaScript, and React to be specific. So you will be having exposure to other mentors who are within our cycle during this bootcamp. Like I will basically take you through the first phase, then the second phase you'll be seeing other phases around as well to take you through. I won't leave, I'll also be taking part, but of course, with the programming, we all have areas where we can do better and and what so forth. So technology is all about collaboration. Yeah, so basically those are what the core things we are looking at. And then also, like I remember passing earlier on your WhatsApp groups, we are also having an additional course that is prompt engineering, like how we can use artificial intelligence to solve problems or even solve coding challenges. So one of the requirements is you need to be computer literate. You need to have basic understanding of how a computer operates. You should be able to power on a computer. You should be able to type, even if in Microsoft Word. But of course, with the programming bit, it doesn't require you to even know how to type. However, understanding how a computer operates is a prerequisite. Then you should also be willing to learn, because the course is going to be intensive. And if you are somebody who, is here and there and you're not consistent, so it won't really be of any help or advantage to you. So we don't need any prior coding experience. Of course, some of you might have been having some experience in coding, or they know how to write some simple codes or even complex ones. However, don't get worried for this course. Even if zero programming knowledge, no problem. This is an ideal course for you because we are starting from zero. Then you should also be familiar with web browsers and file management recommended. So when I'm talking about being familiar with web browsers, I simply mean you should know how to Google using maybe Chrome. I think all of us that we're able to come to this call, it is simple that we are already familiar. Then as well as payments, you're supposed to make payments in order to be eligible for the course. So this is an outline of the course. We are starting with the first phase, which is the foundation. That is 8 weeks. These are some of the outlines. The first week, we shall look at introduction to web development, HTML and CSS, the intro to it. Then week 2, we are going to look at HTML5 and the semantic markup. Then week 3, we shall be starting with CSS. And of course, we shall look at the fundamentals on how we can make responsive designs or responsive web designs. Of course, as we are going to start with introduction, you'll understand what is. Yes, you're most welcome, Chris. So, like I told you, in the first week, when you're starting on the introduction of web dev and HTML and what, we shall be able to differentiate between what is a static design and a responsive design. So there are some words which you may be hearing. Let me say, if you're for the first time in such a scenario, you'll be hearing them for the first time. However, you'll get familiar with them. And then in the 4th week, we shall look at the CSS framework and preprocessors. Week 5 and 6, it will be for you guys to do project. That's basically, you'll be working on a hands-on project on what you've learned in these weeks, okay? In the 2 weeks, you'll work on the project and you present it. Then after that, we shall have a break. Of course, this break will not be a complete off break. Of course, we shall not be learning what we have planned. We shall have some additional thing, like maybe we're learning how to use Git. Of course, as a developer, you need to learn Git and GitHub. So we can be learning that, or we can even be looking at prompt engineering. And then the second phase is a little bit advanced. Of course, week 7 and 8, we shall look at JavaScript. When you're talking about JavaScript, that's the major programming language you're learning here. What allows interactivity on a website. So we shall be looking at the fundamentals and also some advanced concepts. When we finish that, we shall introduce ourselves to React. React is a framework of JavaScript. It is also part of JavaScript. However, it's a little bit different, and for it has already templates and what's for which can simplify for you the code, how to write JavaScript code and reuse them easily. Sorry. Okay, then we shall look at React components and props. We shall look at React state lifecycle. Then we shall build a full stack application using React. Then we shall look at the RESTful API. API is an application programming interface and also data persistence. So these are some of the things we are going to look at. We shall also go into deployment of DevOps, like learning a bit of cloud computing, which will offer for you a very good basis, like I said earlier on. Then remember, of course, we are doing programming. We shall be using text editors. Then some of the most common text editors, which I would recommend people to use. is Visual Studio Code. That is the best text editor. That's actually what I use specifically. But of course, you may find like some of the machines are not able to install it. There's another one called Atom. There is Droid Edit. There is Coda. There is Textastic. Then there's also Coda. So those are some text editors. But of course, the best is Visual Studio Code. It's the best. Of course, it has some automation. However, I would recommend there's another one called Sublime Text Editor. That would be the best for somebody who is starting to learn. Because with Visual Studio, it can sometimes it auto finishes for you the code. But of course, Sublime doesn't. And some of them, like even Atom, doesn't. Only if you set and, put in plugins. Then any of these can support you. But of course, I recommend Visual Studio as the best. And then some of us don't have computers. You may be wanting to start to learn on Android phones. Of course, Android phones, I'm talking about Samsung, Nokia, Tecno, Infinix, and Itel and the likes. So you can use Droid Edit, you can use Coda, you can use Textastics. Then, of course, somebody earlier on shared on the WhatsApp platform, I've forgotten the name of the editor, but of course, we shall keep on interacting and we get to know other Android-friendly IDEs. When I talk of IDE, I'm talking about integrated development environment, where you code and write your programs. Then for the iPhone operating system, you can use Coda or Textastics. So these are both the Coda and Textastics. They are both, you can use them on Android and iPhone, or even a Windows version, or even on Mac. So they are user-friendly and they can support you with a lot of features in your coding journey. So learning approach, how are we going to learn? Like at Ayfed Technologies, we use a 70-20-10 learning approach or principles to learning in order to teach our learning. 70% of our learning takes place on hands-on projects, and it is you who will take a lot of lead there. We will be working on real-world projects to apply the skills you've learned practically, so you are owning the learning. Then 20% will be from your peers, from your colleagues. You will be paired. Some of you will be in groups of 2 and maybe with others, or interacting with other groups. So you get feedback from the project you have done. Okay, you have worked on this. You show for your friends. They give you recommendations, or you also explain like how you did it. And then 10% is from us, the instructors. So we are going to have a team of experienced mentors throughout this course. Others will be dropping in one at a time in some of the classes. Of course, we shall be having classes 3 times a week, and you'll be having other projects which you'll be doing throughout to occupy you up. So one of the advantage of this approach is you learn faster. Like, why did we choose this approach? We want to make the student lead the learning, not us to do the teaching. Yes, we are teaching, but our role should be to guide. We should be used as a resource. Yes, of course, during the normal classes, we shall take you through, but we want you to learn by doing things yourself. You learn faster, and by asking questions, you grow. And on the point that you even explore other things which I might not be in position to cover. And of course, you also stay engaged. It also develops your problem-solving skills. By getting peer feedback, you're developing collaboration and also effective communication. So some of the resources which you can use to support you during the course, we have some online tutorials, like from W3 schools, Code Academy, Udacity. Some of them offer free, but of course, the free ones are a little bit too low. Most times the paid courses have better content. So within this course, I'll be dropping you in for some MOOC, which can be able to, to help sharpen your skills from some of these websites. And of course, you'll also be enrolled in some coding challenges. Of course, there are platforms like HackerRank, Code Wars, and LeetCode. They provide coding challenges. So by enrolling you in such challenges, it will help sharpen, develop your skills, and also improve your coding abilities. And also you'll be learning from other people in the community. And then we also have forums like Stack Overflow and Reddit. We have enough of a community there which can support you. Maybe if you have a question like, you're stuck, something has failed. Sometimes before maybe even you come to ask us, you can go to platforms like Stack Overflow. You ask a question there. Developers across the world will respond to you, obviously. Then also, you will be expected to set a GitHub account in order to showcase your portfolio. GitHub to a developer, it's something very important, because via the GitHub, you can be able to link with other good developers across the globe. It connects every developer, and you get open source resources or even some codes. When I talk about open source, I mean things which are free, which you don't pay for the services. So that is a very big community for developers. So I'll help you in setting up the account and how you can push your portfolio, how you can push your codes and everything. So during the course, we shall be in position to do all those. Yes, I've been doing the talking a lot. So, and hope the little I've given or the little I've just tried explaining briefly has addressed some of the questions maybe you might be having in mind. I forgot to tell you about the payment. For the bootcamp, we are paying 400,000. That's around $110 in case you're not in Uganda. But in Ugandan currency, it is 400,000 and it will run for 5 months. So in case maybe you have any question you feel like asking, I think you're open. So if you have any question, you can go ahead, you can type in the chat, or you can just ask me straight by unmuting your mic. Thank you. Do I have any question? Maybe any inquiry you'd like to put across? Feel free to share. And this will as well help other people who are not in position to join. They will as well get the recordings. Okay, which tutorial are you talking about? The whole course or the online tutorials? Salam, could you clarify your question? Oh, yeah. I'm sorry, I don't know the country you're from. However, in Ugandan currency, it is 400,000 for the 5 months. If it is in dollars, that's 110. Yes, there is. Fine, thank you. So maybe if you're not on the platform, on the WhatsApp group, let me type in my number so that you can get in touch. For those who are not on the WhatsApp group, so there is my number. You can just tap me on WhatsApp. I add you in the group as well. So in case we don't have any other question. Oh, somebody is saying the bootcamp seems to be expensive. Okay, sure. You know, we also put in a lot. Actually, it's fair. I'm sorry to say, it's a little bit fair. Because when you look at the context of the course, we are not just training you halfway, we are training you to build a complete website. And at least if you have ever seen how much they can charge for a website, I think you'll be having a clear picture. However, we hope the course is fair. But in case you're having some challenge, we also have scholarship opportunities for some type of people, maybe who cannot really afford it and what so forth. There are some things we consider, and then there is a form you can fill as well. So I think that can sort you out in case you're maybe having challenges with the finance. But we believe that is fair. Thank you. So in case we don't have any other question, otherwise, oh, you're most welcome, Isaac. Just joined when we are done. Actually, we are just from finishing. So we looked at the general outline. I'll be able to share this PowerPoint on the platform. So in case those who are on the platform, you can go through the PowerPoint and also listen to the recordings. Otherwise, thank you for your time and your interest. So you can help follow us on social media platforms, TikTok, Facebook, LinkedIn, Twitter, Instagram, as Ayfed Technologies. When you search that, it will pop up. And please help us follow and maybe share what you find on the platform. Otherwise, thank you for your time. And maybe to Isaac, who has just come, I don't know if you could be having any query, maybe I will respond to before we end the call. Okay. So guys, the best of your evening. I'll be rolling out again a set of like emails or a communication via WhatsApp on the timetable and the course outline. So looking forward to see you guys all in the next phase. So by Wednesday, we shall be expected to have our first class. So see you guys then, and the best of your evening.
Thank you.